Well, if you click this video, you already know the embargo's up. I can now speak freely about my experiences for Gears of War Eday, but I'm going to talk a little bit about what is to come for Gears of War Eday at launch in October. I think that's really what's going to be interesting, but I got a nice visual provided by the Coalition, and we're going to use that as our reference here. So, in the multiplayer preview, it's pretty straightforward. You're going to be playing Horde Siege or Horde Siege Blitz, and there's also going to be versus multiplayer. Now, that's pretty simple. That is the core of the multiplayer in Gears of War E-Day. And so let's talk a little bit about that. You have Horde Siege, which is going to come in with one map, 4 classes at launch, and then also I have a whole video that talks a little bit about Horde Siege in more detail, but you're going to be capped at up to level 10. Classes at retail will actually go up to level 30, so this is going to be a little bit similar and a little different than how Gears 5 worked for their escape and horde classes. Then there's going to be invasion, which are like mini bosses or bosses within the fight within Horde Siege, which in the beta will be 2, and then at launch we'll have 4, and those are actually very exciting, but they don't really move the needle for the information that we're looking for. I think what most people are going to want to know is how many maps are there. And with versus multiplayer, we're going to have 6 maps at launch versus 2 in the multiplayer preview. And I'm going to say this. The 2 that you're going to be able to play, one is like a market and the other one's called Outpost. They are both different, but they are very fun to play. I spent hours playing both maps. I don't think I ever got tired or annoyed at either one. I think the one that's a little bit more chaotic is going to be Market. It's a little familiar to check out, but a little different at the same time because there's an exterior element to it. And I think that's really what is going to be interesting to see people play that. I think it's going to be one of the more premier versus multiplayer maps. I think that map is going to see a lot of love and attention. But also in the multiplayer mode, at beta, there's going to be 2 modes, and then at launch, there's going to be 4. I don't know what the launch 4 modes will be, but I do know right now in the multiplayer beta preview that you will be able to play Control and Team Deathmatch. There's a little bit of difference. I said Control. Team Deathmatch is Team Deathmatch, but Control is different. It almost feels like Domination from Call of Duty, which was like maybe Breakthrough or something like that from Gears of War Judgment. I can't remember the exact name of that mode from Judgment, but think of it like Domination. Instead of it being 3 points or 3 areas of focus on a map, it has that King of the Hill kind of ring area, but it's not a circular ring. It's a dedicated location on the map that you will go and have to sit inside and have a momentum bar basically fill up. And once that momentum bar fills up, you have captured that zone, and then we move to another location on the map. And then you have to go capture that one, and you have to score up to 4 points. It's a little chaotic, and I definitely think that Market is going to be a map that is going to be the map of choice for the multiplayer preview. Outpost is a little bit more of an outdoory map where you're definitely outdoors. I shouldn't even say that. It's an outdoor map. You're going to have some of that verticality and typical Gears movement. It's still a very fun mode or a very fun map, and being able to run and jump off areas of the map is really fun. And I think that's actually what will set that map apart from the Market map. But I think that's really the gist of kind of what we're seeing. So we're only going to have 6 total maps at launch. That feels a little light to me. I'm not sure if I like that, but maybe there's a reason and a rationale. But again, it's only launch. We know there's going to be seasons in this game. So take that for what it is. It's kind of following that Gears 5, Call of Duty, and other similar games kind of path of how we get additional content down the road. Additionally, all the weapons are on the table. There's a few new weapons that I think everyone's really going to like in Versus, but even in the Horde Siege and Horde modes, there's going to be some weapons that I don't want to spoil it all too much right now, but they're really fun and exciting, and it just is a different twist on Horde. So I think everybody's going to have a great time. But there is a new weapon, and I'm drawing a blank on what the weapon is now. But it's like a bushka where you can, or a digger where you can literally shoot it out and control the length, and then it explodes and blows up. So I think a lot of people are going to like that, and that's on the market map. And then they talk about medals. I don't really know why they're limiting the beta to five. I think I saw way more than five, so I'm not really sure why it says five, but there's over 80. I think there's probably going to be more if I remember how Gears 3 and definitely Gears 3, I think had more than 80, so I would assume it's going to be maybe even closer to 100. I just guessing a hunch there. And then player levels. In the multiplayer beta, you can only get to level 50, and then at launch, there's going to be up to level 100 with 4 re-ups. So the re-up system is coming back into Gears Eday. But yeah, I mean, I think most people are going to be very happy with the beta multiplayer preview. I can definitely see that at launch, individuals will be a little bit hesitant about only seeing 6 versus multiplayer maps. But again, this is only season one. There's going to be future seasons, and I suspect that they'll be dropping multiple multiplayer maps at that time, and maybe even additional Horde Siege classes and maps. They haven't laid out those plans yet. I'm sure once we get halfway through season one, we'll start to learn a little bit more. And then there is a few other small things to talk about here. In the multiplayer preview, you will be able to earn beta rewards. One of them is on some of the videos I've uploaded called Crush the Bug. It's for doing certain objectives, such as getting like 8 or 5 executions with the Lancer, I believe, and playing and beating Horde on a certain difficulty. So those are the missions and objectives while you're playing the multiplayer beta preview. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. There's a lot more content coming out over the next few days, and I'm going to be live streaming as well. So I hope you all enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video.